All right. Okay, guys, I am so excited about the Zoom today. Jill Renfro is so amazing. She is a Diamond Ambassador. Y'all know that. And she is so much, I mean, she is like the ultimate fun. I just love her. I met her, let me tell you, and I'm going to let her tell her story, but I met her, I don't even know if you remember this, but I met you at Jewel Training. And Jewel Training, like I guess it was 3 days. I think it was
Yeah.
3 days long, and so and it really kind of gets emotional because like everybody's telling their stories and what Plexus has done for them. Yeah, people are crying. Yeah, I mean for real, it's really an awesome time. But Jill started telling her part of her story, and I was like, I love that girl. So she's just amazing, and she an amazing leader, an amazing ambassador. Jill, I think you know, I'll let everyone else know. Ariele is sick today. Ariele and I do these every Tuesday morning, but she woke up without a voice and her throat is killing her. So I told her to go to bed. So anyways, but so she's usually on here and she couldn't be. So anyways, I'm going to let Jill take it away. She's going to give us her story, some tips. Y'all take lots of notes. She is one of the top ambassadors right now, like building her team in Plexus, and has an amazing story. So get ready for a fun time with us this morning.
I am pumped, guys. I'm excited. So I'm feeling a little nasally throat thing too. Side note, so you can see how much of a hot mess I am, so you can get a little bit more comfortable here. Last night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you have a sore throat and you're like, where's the water? Like, what's up? So we keep the cough drops, or my husband is highly addicted to cough drops, on his side of the bed. Like I'm telling you, he pops them like they're candy. And so they're in his nightstand and he's dead to the world. And I open up his nightstand and I'm like rummaging through his things to get this cough drop. And he like in a dead like sleep. He's like, why are you going through my stuff? He's like sleep talking at this point, okay? Because he's not really this mean of a guy. And I'm like, what are you doing? Snap out of it. And he was like, I mean, get out of my stuff. I mean, it was just this craziest thing that we had. Well, anyways, the cough drop, I went to bed with this cough drop in my mouth at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to wake up at 6 today. His truck's in the shop and we're down to one vehicle, so I had to haul his butt to work. But anyways, I woke up with the same cough drop that I fell asleep in my mouth and at 3 o'clock, like stuck to the side of my cheek. Like, so let me just tell you about that. I'm a little bit of a hot mess today. And I zoomed into the gas station with 0 miles left in the car. If I can do this, you can do this, okay? So I'm super excited to be with y'all. And just like Beth was saying, we met at Jewel's training. And I will tell you, if you have been to Jewel's or you are going to go, because hello, you're on the call, your goal is to go there one day. Guys, you need like a Xanax and a margarita by the time you leave there. It is so emotional, and you're just learning all these things and meet great people. But if it wasn't for Plexus and our like amazing resources and network, I never would have a chance to meet her. So I'm super excited to hang with y'all. Disclaimer about me, I always tell everybody this, I talk really fast. I can't help it. That's not a nervous thing. It's just who I am. So if I'm speaking too fast and if I have too thick of an accent on some things for y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know where some of y'all are from. If you're from up north, I know there's some drawl to my slang over here. So just get with the program. You'll figure out I use some Texas analogies and you're like, what did she just say? So there's a disclaimer about me. But I'm 28 years old. When I started Plexus 3 years ago, I wasn't looking for anything but these were my words. Will it get me skinny? That was my word. I don't care about health at this point. I was 25. Who cares about what's in your organisms and your microbiome at that point? You don't. I just was surviving off of Little Debbie's and Belvita and iced tea and things like that. And I just needed to function. I was a tired third grade teacher, like so tired to where I felt like I was 85 instead of 25. And I mean, I was zoned, like drained, exhausted. I would count down the hours to when I could get back home and put my pajamas back on. So if you've ever been in that situation, that's where I was at. And I would tell myself, I've got like 50 more damn years of this. Like, oh my God, this is miserable. So when my sister found Plexus and said, hey, I'm doing Plexus, do this with me, I was like, who are you talking about? I thought she was saying like somebody's name or something like that. I'm like, I don't know her. I haven't taught that kid yet. So I was ready because I was ready for anything of a change. It took me about 14 seconds to join Plexus. I'm not a person who's going to research. I don't care what's in what. I don't. Plexus could have had people grow forearms and purple hair, and I wouldn't have known no different. I don't know. I don't research those things. If somebody tells me that I trust they like it, I'm in like Flynn, and I trust her. She's my sister, right? So I jumped in ready to get skinny, not even knowing there was a compensation plan. I didn't know it was a business. I didn't know people had cars and Lexuses and trips, nothing. And I didn't even care about what it was going to do, like I said, for my gut. So within day 4 of Plexus, day 4, it's all it took, right? Day 4, I'm like, I got to get more of this stuff. I don't know what it is, but I have got to get it, and I've got to get it cheaper because third grade teacher in the state of Texas, you average maybe $37,500, $38,000 a year. Okay, you're broke as a joke. My husband's off in the oil field. We ship him off to San Saskatchewan every week. We don't even see each other, and hoping that he'll make more money. So I'm just whoring him out left and right, packing his bags up so that he can finish paying our bills because my teacher's salary isn't doing it. And I'm in more debt from that than I ever would to make in a year. So we weren't even going to break even of what we were trying to do. So I'm like, I need this cheap and I need this like cheaper now. And so that's how I fell into Ambassador with Plexus. What sold me on day 4 was not skinny, was not energy, it was poop. It sold me flat out. I used the bathroom like a normal person, and it felt really good because I had teacher pooping issues. And if you are a teacher, or if you've known of a teacher, you can't just go to the bathroom when you want to go to the bathroom. Doesn't work out that way. You hold your pee and you hold your poop all the day, and then before you know it, you're constipated. And then finally, when you do go, it's like an oil spill. So I know TMI, you've got all of these issues. And so when I finally sat down, went to the bathroom, it was quick and fast and easy. I'm like, what just happened in like 3 minutes? And I can do this in between the classes with kids. Like, this is going to be fabulous. So that's what sold me with Plexus. Needless to say, the products did work. I found the road to skinnier than what I was. I lost 30 pounds. I was able to get off of 4 prescription medications, 3 for cystic acne, 1 for stomach ulcers. I was the teacher that my kiddos would tell me, Miss Renfro, your face is bleeding again, and on a daily basis. And I'm like, I know that. Please don't. We're not going to talk about people's insecurities. Do you want somebody to tell you that your breath smells bad? No, let's not do that. Okay. So that is a conversation I had daily in my classroom with my kids. Cystic acne controlled my life. The medication that I took made my hair fall out, made my ulcers in my mouth form, made me more tired. It made my skin have discoloration. It caused so many issues just so I could get 1 less zit a month. And my meds cost me about $300 a month. I was that desperate for anything. So when my face started to clear up, because I figured out, you know what, this gut health microbiome thing is something to research and learn, I knew I had something at my fingertips. I'm walking up and down the hallways of elementary school, which you've got teachers who are broke, tired, hungry, fed up, cycle. If you know a teacher, or if you are a teacher and you haven't tapped into that network yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. Every single teacher needs to be on Plexus. If you have not baggied up a goodie bag for your kid's teacher for back to school and introduced Plexus to them, you need to do so. They are dying for something like this. So when I'm bebopping down the hallways, people are like, your pants are getting saggier, your boobs are getting smaller, your face is getting clearer, you are not drinking coffee again, like, what are you doing? I'm like, girl, I'm doing Plexus. That's when my business accidentally built. Never, I told you in a million years, was this something that I was even aware of. They're like, where can I get it? I'm like, I think you can get it from me. Like, this is how we do this. Accidental. Within my first full month with Plexus, my check was about $55. I joined at the end of a month, so my first full month was about $55, and you'd have thought that I won the scratch-off ticket, okay? Because here is what happens when you're young and you're married and you're in debt, you're trying to start this life. Something's got to give. Well, something had to give for me, and it ruined me. It was my nails. I could not get my nails done any longer. That had to be something that had to go and wasn't in our budget. It devastated me. And you're like, really, Jill, your priorities? Listen, I have man hands. They look like man hands. So when I don't have my nails done, it irritates the beep out of me, okay? So I had to give up my nails. And that to me was like, oh my gosh. So when I got that paycheck of about $55, I went and got my flipping nails done. So for me, that was my why in the beginning, to have an income or extra money to where I wasn't having to give things up monthly because our income was going to bills and going to debt and going to living, that I could actually, you know, get my nails done, get my hair done, maybe go out to lunch with girls. That was my first why in this. So if that's where you're at in this business, no why is too small. Work for that. I promise you, that's going to build some power for you. Because when you get a little taste of something, you're going to go, okay, well, what about a little bit more? And that's what I did. I said, if I can get my nails done, and if I can do this, what would it be like if I really tried? So month 2 with Plexus, I really tried, meaning I started to share. I started to read a little bit more. I figured out people were getting cars. So I'm like, I want a car. I figured out people were going on trips. I'm like, I want a trip. I figured out people were doing this as a job. And I'm like, I'm good at this. Here I am. I got $55 and didn't even know what I did. What if I tried? I could do this. My second month with Plexus, my check was about $750. And at the time, we were renting and we were purchasing our first home in about a month. And so our rent was covered at the time because of my Plexus paycheck. So if your man is skeptical, girlfriend, bring home some money. He's going to shut up. Okay. So from $750, went from $55 to about $750. My husband's like, what are you doing? And how can you get more of that? And what is this? Like, I don't even know what you're doing here. Is this normal? Is this allowed? Are you doing something like frauding over here? Is this fraudsters? Like, I don't even know. And so $750, that was my second Plexus paycheck. So think about what that could do for your family. And then it only went up from there. 9 months sharing Plexus, I matched my teacher's salary. And I told you in the beginning, that's about $40,000. I matched that in 9 months of sharing Plexus. In 16 months, I reached the rank of Emerald. Of course, got my Lexus. Holla, that was amazing. And that was about 3.5 times, my teacher's salary at that point in time. And at that age, guys, I was 26 years old. To be 26 years old and to make that kind of income is almost scary. Like, it is. You don't think that you would ever make anything like that. And then 23 months into this business, I reached the rank of Sapphire. And at that point in time, I made the decision that I would not return to the classroom. So I decided at 27 years old that was going to be my last year as a Sapphire ambassador. So if you are working full time and you're making excuses, I'm going to tell you to hush on that one. I worked all the way up to Sapphire. Do I recommend that to anybody? No. There was many days I wanted to jump out the window, but it's doable. And so if you're saying, I can't get on that call, I can't do this, I can't show up to that event, I'm working 8 hours a day. I wish I worked 8 hours a day as a teacher. That's a lie. If you ever met a teacher, they are not working 8 hours a day. I was pulling in that parking lot at 6:45 in the morning. I was pulling out of that parking lot at 6:45 at night, after school tutorial, Saturday school, events, UIL, any mentor teacher, anything that I could put my hands in. And then I brought home paperwork this big and phone calls to parents. I did everything that I could. So if you are telling yourself that you are working a full-time job and can't do it, I'm going to tell you to honey, hush. That's an excuse. And that's just like a booty boo. That's my teacher term for your earth. That is just like a booty boo, and we all have one. So at this point, hush your excuse, and you've got to decide, am I in or am I out? And I'll talk about that in just a second. But I made that decision at 27 years old to do that. So that was May of 2016. Let me backtrack just a little bit. January of 2016, we made the decision. My husband traveled the oil field, like I told you. He was never home. Never home. He missed every birthday I had. He was Christmas Eve, Easter, Thanksgiving, Saturdays. I got very content being married alone. And that should scare you in your marriage. If you are more content being alone than you are with them, because it's almost uncomfortable because they're never in the bed. They're never at home. When we purchased this house that we live in now, our master bathroom had one sink in it. And I remember my husband telling me, is this going to be okay for you? One sink. And I said, you're never home. It doesn't matter. Those are the words out of my mouth. Today, we need 2 sinks. He is home. He's home all the dang time. so much to where he got to go sometimes, okay? That is where we're at. It's amazing. He does still work. I get that all the time. Are y'all just sitting there staring at each other? No, my husband's a welder. He's an amazing welder. But he's not traveling the oil field anymore. And we are able to actually be married. And I've heard from a book that I read called the Bible, you've got to, to be fruitful and multiply. That's something that God wants us to do. Well, you can't be fruitful and multiply when you're not even in the same bed together, correct? Okay, so people are like, why don't you have kids? I'm like, well, he's got to be home first. That's got to happen, right? So finally, this past year, we are learning to be married. And that's really cool because we've almost been married 5 years. But in the past year, we're actually figuring out dinner at the same time, Saturdays, church together, Wednesday nights church, whatever that we're doing. So if you've got a spouse that y'all are coming and going and you're not even barely crossing paths and you're both just functioning to make your house stand up and your kids go to where they need to go, that's not normal. We call it our normal. People say, Jill, I'm praying for you. I'm so sorry. Your husband's always going, I'm like, why are you praying for me? This is all I know. Like, girl, I'm good. Pray for somebody else. I'm fine. I don't need that. But when it becomes that content and you're that comfortable with it, that should be something to where it should be red flag. We got to do something about this. So after the whole get skinny mode, my first why was to bring my husband home. And that was doable for us in January 2016. And then May 2016 is when I made the call to walk away from the classroom. And then May of this year, May 2017, so just a few months ago, I reached the ring of diamond at 28 years old. So the salary that I make today is about 9 times of what I did as a classroom teacher. I haven't lived a lot of life. So when a lot of people come up with the excuse and say, she's young, she doesn't have kids, of course she can do this. I get that daily. You can do that because of this. Okay, you want me to come back with you on this? Okay, I'm young, you're old. You've lived more life than me. You know more people. You've got more networks. Okay, I don't have kids. You do have kids. Girlfriend, you've got soccer, kinder music, Mother's Day out, pre-K, gymnastics, Chick-fil-A. You've got the parks to go sit at and meet people. I can't do that. I don't have that network. So it's one excuse to another excuse. She doesn't have kids. She does have kids. Oh, she's young, da-da-da-da. I've only worked one job. That's it. You might have worked 50 jobs in your life. I don't know. I mean, I had my part-time positions, but I was only a teacher for so long. You might have been in your career for 20 years. Think about the people that you've crossed paths with. That is your network. So before you put me on any pedestal, honey, put me back down. I'm just as normal as anybody. I have excuses like anybody else, but it's up to me if I decide if I'm going to be all in or I'm going to be all out. So when I teach about anything, if I'm teaching third graders, that's what I taught, third grade reading and writing, or if I'm talking to adults, I break things down in threes. I think anybody can function in threes. I break my husband, God love the man, he's a redneck and he's highly dyslexic, so I deal with special needs babies at home too, okay? So I have to break things down and I've got to chunk it. If I give my husband, and he's ADD, okay? If I give him 14 things, he's like, I can't handle that. I have to say, first, you're going to take your boots off, okay? Next, you're going to put your clothes in the laundry, then walk to the shower. 1, 2, 3. He's mastered it. If I said, take your shoes off, go to the shower, and then I need you to go to the sink, and then go over there and put that towel up, I've lost him. And you've lost probably a lot of people at that point. Also, kiddos, mamas, I'm probably speaking your language here. I've taught, my degree is special education. I've taught those babies. I can't say, get your folder, get your notebook, get in line, bell's about to ring, I need you out the door with your token, 10 seconds, go. They're like, they're freaking out. You have to say, first, we're going to grab this notebook. Then, okay, we master that. We're going to walk and get in line, hands to ourselves, mouth closed, head in front. Have we done it? Check. Out the door, grab your token. Boom. Now to the cafeteria. You chunk it in steps. So I'm going to challenge you to chunk your business in steps. Chunk your to-dos in steps. I don't care if you're 8 years old or 88 years old. Every person I've ever met, regardless of a disability or not a disability in learning, functions off of structure and functions off of routine. Everybody does. When you wake up in the morning and say, well, I'm going to work some plexus. Let me see what I can do today. Oh, well, heck, I'd rather go get a pedicure. Let me go get a pedicure real quick. And you go get a pedicure. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll meet you over there at Hobby Lobby. That sounds good. They got their fall decorations out. Yeah, girl. Well, then that leads to a 3-hour escapade. By the time you get home, oh, yeah, I'm still going to do my power hour. I'm still going to do it. Oh, yeah, I'll get it. Well, now it's 9:30. And now you've been exhausted from kids and husband and dishes and cooking. And you're like, oh, but the Bachelor in Paradise is on tonight. It's Monday night. Dang. Okay, well, I can get, you know what, I'll message people in the morning. And before you know it, you've done that for 4 months straight, and you still aren't doing activity. I can see some people's eyes on here. You're like, crap, she's talking to me. Yeah, I am talking to you. So listen up, Linda. So you've got to have structure. So I want you to think of 3s, tasks that you can do. I am the sticky note queen. There is nothing pretty about what I do. You would think, oh, she's a teacher. Everything's color coordinated and laminated and labeled. Oh, no. No. I'm a hot mess. I function off of notepads and I function off of stickies. Excel spreads scares the crap out of me. When people come to me with these color coordinated by date when their customer joined, I'm like, you don't speak my lingo, okay? Like, I'm the girl that flies into the gas station with 0 miles. I have the dried cough drop on the side of my cheek. That's who I am. That's how I function. So I can't handle a whole bunch at once, and I can't handle free-for-all at once. I've got to do little tasks to get to where I'm going to stay structured, and that's everybody. Okay, so think to yourself, what can I do? And what are 3 things that you can do when you sit down? Okay, first I'm going to contact 5 people. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Hey, Jessica, I know you've probably seen my Plexus post by now. Have you ever tried it? Boom, I've done my 5. Wow, I did that quick. I could do 5 more. Okay. Boom, that's where I'm at. Now I'm going to go follow up with the people who have not said yes to me yet, but I've already talked to them about Plexus. Okay, I can do that. Now I'm going to go talk to the people who have said yes to Plexus to me, and they are on my customer base or on my team. Boom, boom, boom. You're working in 3s. Now, maybe next time you sit down, I'm going to post, okay? I'm going to listen to a training that I couldn't get onto live, and I'm going to go and I am going to go to my team page, look at any contests, any challenges, any things that I need to do for my business, anything that I can build momentum that's also going to get me closer to my goals. Okay, that's the next 3 you're going to do. And then maybe you look at the next 3, you go, okay, today we're doing a 7-day challenge. Okay, I need to reach out to 4 people over here and make sure they got their 7-day challenge pack in. I'm going to go contact 20 people to see if they want to be a part of the 7-day challenge. Okay, and then I'm going to go make a post about the 7-day challenge to build my network. Boom, 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 and follow that order. So just like you're going to break your business down into 3s, I'm going to talk to you about 3 things today. So if you are taking notes, because I know some of you are visual learners, some of you are auditory, and some of you are kinesthetic. I can talk the teacher talk. I know exactly what you're learning and how you're doing. And that's what I'm going to urge you to look at. When you are building a business, you are working with a team, or you are posting, are you gearing to people who are visual learners? Are you gearing to people who are auditory learners? Are you gearing to people who are hands-on kinesthetic learners? Or are you just a person who's only preaching and teaching to your style? And a lot of times we do that. I'm a blue, means I like to have fun, but I'm also red. I'm very structured. And there's a lot of times I have to check myself and say, Jill, your whole team is not fun and structured. They're not. Some of them are soft and yellow and want pat and love and cry. And some of them want all the facts and want the green and want the this and the white. And I could give a rat's behind about that. But I've got to gear to them. Because if not, I'm not meeting their learning style. I'm not meeting their language. It's woohoo. And they feel lost. And they feel that I'm not there to help them because they don't know what to do. When really we have so many resources available to everybody. So number 1, if you're taking notes, let me get a drink real quick. Are you showing up? That's my words right here. Are you showing up to your job? All right, when I say this, I want you to stop calling yourself just a silver, just a gold. I'm just senior gold. Honey, hush. Don't you ever let the word just come out of your mouth again. Well, I just signed 1 ambassador. Okay? When you paid $34.95, that was you signing your paperwork to your brand new job that you went into, and they called you down to the HR building and they said, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. I need you to show up on this day. Go. Let's put yourself in a job position. I'm not talking to the hobby people right now. I'm not talking to the people who just want to make $100 for the product. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who are in it to win it. I'm talking to the people who are saying, yes, 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 I need that. I need that income. I'm looking for that. That's my why. That's my dream. So when your job gave you descriptions, I don't care if you're a banker, a Walmart greeter, you work at a daycare, you are working at Cabela's, I don't care where you're working, okay? Think about your job. What are your duties there? Do you have a time that they tell you to come? Mm-hmm. Do they have a time they tell you to leave? Uh-huh. Do they tell you that you need to make certain things happen in the day or your job's incomplete? Mm-hmm. Think about bonuses, rewards, monthly incentives like Employee of the Month. Do you have to strive for those things? Yes, you do. So many times people want to put in the category, oh, well, I don't have to do it like that because Plexus isn't a real job. It's different. Time freedom. Woo! Okay, let me tell you what time freedom is. Time freedom is this. It's 10:30 on a Tuesday, and I'm here talking to you instead of teaching 8-year-olds. That's time freedom. Time freedom is I just left the gym this morning, and I didn't have to do it at 5:30 in the morning, but now I can work my business throughout the day. That's time freedom. Time freedom for me is I can go to the grocery store later today in the middle of the day, but I work my business before it and after it. That's time freedom, okay? People get really confused and say, well, time freedom means I can work when I want, how I want. True, but you're kind of twisting it and you're pushing the limits a little too far, sister, because that does not mean Tuesdays and Saturdays twice a month. That doesn't mean that. You have got to show up. So give yourself a schedule. I function off routine, and I know damn good and well you function off routine, so don't even lie and say if routine makes you go, oh my God. We all function off routine. Anybody and everybody. What are you doing today that's getting your business moving? That's IPA, income producing activities. Have you made a plan? And if you haven't made a plan, it's time to make a plan. You need to go, okay, today I'm going to contact 5 new people. I'm going to listen to that call that was recorded. I'm going to follow up with all of my preferred customers. I got 3 new ambassadors last month. It's time for me to check up with them. I'm going to make 1 Plexus post here. I'm going to go over and say this on my team page, or I'm going to get involved over here. What are you doing for your business? Now, do the hard things first. You know what's fun? You know what's really everybody wants to do? Everybody wants to go to the team page. Everybody wants to go to the threads. Everybody wants to go chat with their sideline sisters who's already on Plexus. Girlfriend, she ain't about to make you no more money. She's your sideline friend. She isn't joining you. What do you need to do first that is hard and is uncomfortable? Talking to new people, talking to the follow-ups, talking to the fence sitters, people who've not said yes to Plexus. That's the dirty work. And we don't like it because we feel uncomfortable. We'd rather go to the team page and comment on the challenges that we're going to get 5 entries to get a little Kendra Scott earrings. Honey, that ain't it. If that's the carrot that's dangling you to be a part of this business, it's out of whack for you. The carrot's not Kendra Scott or Rustic Cuff or Target gift cards. The carrot is financial freedom. The carrot is your life. The carrot is your children and the time that you're going to get to spend with them, their college fund, your retirement fund. That's the carrot. So if you're waiting for an incentive or a half-off special ran by your uplines to get you moving, you're not in this for the right reasons. You might as well log off the call, head on out, and don't let the screen door hit you on the back when you go. Bye. You're not here for the right reasons. You should not have momentum building only when there's a special or an offer from corporate or from your upline. None. You should show up regardless what price what is and what you're earning or not what you're earning, because this is your job. And I don't care if you've got 3 more jobs outside of this job. This is still a job. It's time to show up. When are you coming to work every day? For you, sister, that may not be till 8 p.m. I don't know your schedule. It may not be till 11 p.m. I don't know. But you've got to show up. When I worked full-time, I woke up at 4 o'clock every single morning. I didn't have to because it didn't take me that long to get ready, to put my hair in a ponytail and throw on some clothes and go teach some kids. No. But I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could be ready by 5, so I could sit down at my desk or kitchen table from 5 to 6 a.m. and work my Plexus business. I set my day up for success because let me tell you, when you step in the door as a teacher, Miss Renfro can't grab her phone. I can't get on a 3-way. I am devoted to those kids. So if you have a job like a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, you're hands-on. You can't work your Plexus business while you're working. I know that life. So you need to front load. And then you need to make sure you're the best whoever you are during the day so your boss doesn't hate you and hate Plexus, okay? And then you need to go, and then you need to plan for an afternoon work time. What is that? When do kids go down? And if you're like, well, Jill, my kids don't go to bed yet. I'm not a mom, so don't throw tomatoes at me, but speaking as a teacher, get your kids to bed. They function a lot better on a routine schedule. If your kids are still up at 10:30 and they're in elementary school, honey, Dr. Phil and you got to have some talks. I don't know. Something else needs, I'm not the one to talk to about that, but as a teacher, do not drag them babies to school because they did not have a routine. Mama needs mama time. Husband and wife need husband and wife time, and you need plexus time. They need to go night-night. They need routine, and you need routine. So you should be able to say, I can pick up my business again at 9:30 at night, 9:30 to 10:30. It's another power hour for me. I can do this. This is where I'm at. So then again, you're okay, well, I got to be at work at 8. Kids get up at about 7. Okay, I'm going to get myself up at 5:40 because at 5:40 I can get ready by 6:15. 6:15 to 7. It's 45 minutes of mommy quiet time. I'm going to sit down with my laptop, my planner, my schedule. I'm going to go ahead and pre-plan a post for the day. Now, I'm not going to post it at 6 in the morning because nobody's up. That's not a high traffic time, but I'm going to save it in my phone. So you better believe 8 a.m., that thing's ready to rock. Go ahead and make your post for tonight at 7. Save it. Don't post it yet. Save it. Go ahead and write down the people's names that you're going to contact today during your lunch break. So you've already got the post and the messages made to go to them. So all you have to do at 12:05 when you're eating your ham sandwich is send the message because it's already typed out. That's how you can front load your business and show up. So if you were going up for Employee of the Month right now in your job, your main income job, what would that mean that you'd have to do? If you wanted to catch your boss's attention, what did that mean you have to do? You got to do a lot of crap, don't you, girl? Yeah, you have to be tired. What are you aiming for that bonus? So transition that to your Plexus business. What do you need to do for that rank bonus? What do you need to do to build your business? What do you need to do to show up for next year's Leaders Retreat or Convention Credit Contest? What do you need to do that 2018 you are not missing out on Hawaii? What do you need to do? So stop making that excuse of saying, well, I've got kids. Well, my husband's needy. He's only home 3 days a week. You don't want it yet, and that's okay. So come back when you do want it, because right now you're just wasting people's time. You're getting them in on Plexus, and then you're not helping them, and you're not supporting them. You're wasting your upline's time. She's coming to you, ready to get you rocking and rolling, silver and 7, and you're just horsing around. So if you're not ready, verbally say that. You know what, Beth, thank you so much for the help and the coaching. Right now, it's just a crazy month for me, and I'm not ready. She knows where to pour in her time. What do you need to do? Or you say, you know what, I am ready this month. I'm sorry. You know what? I've been a little MIA and you've been talking to me. I've been horsing around. I'm ready to get busy. Please follow up with me. Check in with me. I'm doing this. She needs to know where she needs to pour in her time in too. She got to show up herself. Where are you showing up? And ask yourself this. This is a big question because every single one of us doesn't like to reflect on anything we do in our life. We don't. When we start a diet, when we're planning something, budgeting, we're like, no, we did really good. We saved money. And then you're in $27,000 of credit card debt. Honey, you ain't doing good. Okay, no. And then you want to say, oh my God, but I do really good. And we like, oh yeah, we eat grilled chicken and like we do green beans. And then no. And then last night you done went and got an ice cream sundae. You ain't doing good. Okay. So you've got to reflect to yourself and stop using excuses. Oh, you know, I'm really trying to break my Coke habit. You know, I've only had 4 this week, Cokes. Honey, you ain't doing good. That ain't it. So where are you at with your business? Are you where you want to be? Are you growing in the rate you want to grow? Are you moving up? Are you continuing to fall backwards? Take that finger and stop saying my downline, my upline, my sideline, my team, my back office, my this. It ain't up to nobody but to you. If you want your paycheck to increase, you want your business to increase, you need to increase. Boom, mic drop. You need to increase. That's what you need to do. Ask yourself this. If this was my job, would I already be fired? Did you do a no-call, no-show? If you did a no-call, no-show, honey, they're going to write you up. You're done. You're fired. They are not going to have you come back. You're no longer a team leader or manager or organizer. Whatever you are, your title's been ranked from you. The carpet's been pulled. Would you already have been fired from your job? Have you shown up? Have you communicated? Have you walked the walk and talked the talk? Have you dressed the way? Now, thankfully, we can come to our work looking a hot mess, but you know what? You kind of got to fake it and faith it till you make it with people. If your life's really big, a hot mess, and you're going through divorce and you're in debt and you can't handle this and that, your audience doesn't need to know that you can barely brush your teeth today, okay? You got to fake it and faith it till you make it. You've got to show up and, honey, put some lipstick on that pig and act like you're going to do something and get it together. So number 2, so we're talking about showing up of what you're really going to do. Number 2, Pretending versus living it. As a little girl, we all love to play pretend. We want to play house. We want to play store. We want to play checkout. We want to do, little boys, we want to do Transformers and cars and this and that. We want to pretend. Stop pretending that you're a Plexus ambassador working this and actually live it and actually work it. So that means products. That means your food, your health, your gym time, your walking the dog, your time that's a little bit healthier. Are you actually walking the walk for what we breathe, health and happiness? Or are you, not disclaimer, don't throw tomatoes at me, are you just popping anxiety and depression med like crazy and you can barely get out of the bed, nothing about you's happy, you got an awful marriage, you're drowning, you can't even function, your kids are batshit crazy, I don't know what's going on. So are you not living the happiness? And then you got health. You done went through the donut shop 3 times this week. You're back to drinking Cokes, but you're fudging on your Facebook page telling everybody how much, oh my God, my sugar cravings are gone. And then here you are. You got Coca-Cola and donut holes in the morning. And that's okay to treat yourself occasional. Don't get me wrong. I love a splurge. Thank heaven for block. But is that your daily norm? Are you walking the walk? Or are you just talking the talk? It's time to stop pretending. And then we like to do this a lot with our downlines as well. Oh my gosh, we're going to be contacting 3 people and we're going to go silver and we're going to get 500 PV. Honey, when's the last time you contacted 3 people? Or are you pretending you're doing the activity you're telling your team to do? Okay? So many times we want to say, I'm just waiting on that rock star. I just need 2 rock stars to make it to the top. When people say that in this business, I want to punch them square in the face. I really do. Just like, that's it. That is not Plexus. That is not network marketing. That is not how you become successful in this business. You become a rock star in every form or fashion of the way you want to be a rock star. So I want you to have a little bit of imagery. I'm going to do a little reading lesson with you here. Think about it in your head. Imagine the rock star ambassador on your team that you'd love to have. Imagine her or him right now. What do they look like? What do they sound like? What kind of activity do they do daily? Do they show up to calls? Do they do three-way messages with their sponsor? Do they not miss a convention or a Super Saturday or an opportunity event? Are they cold messaging people? What does your rock star ambassador look like? Now, you go be the rock star. Stop waiting for her to join and click the join button and do the work for you. You role model the work. You live and breathe the work. You are the work. So when you do get somebody who's got that same brainwave as you and say, I'm in it to win it, sister, you go, good. Welcome to the Rockstar bus, and I'm going to keep driving us all the way there. And then you get another one, and you keep driving it, and you get another one, and you keep driving it. You don't stop at 1, you don't stop at 2, and you don't stop at 7. You are the role model. You have to do it. You've got to say, if I want that to increase and that to increase, who's got to increase? Me. If I want my team's recruiting to increase, my personal recruiting needs to increase. If I want my team's PV to increase, my personal PV needs to increase. If I want my team to make Leaders Retreat, I better be doing more than just making it. I better be striving for a lot more. If I want my team to get to convention, I better start talking about convention soon and quick and tell them to start saving their paychecks now to get those hotel rooms. What do you need to do to role model the rockstar behavior? Think about teaching anybody. And I know I talk a lot about teaching, but that's my language. That's what I know how to do. I can't tell a child, first, all you gotta do is just read the book and answer the questions. No, I've got to role model that. What does it look like to comprehend? What does it look like to think? What does it look like to brainstorm? When you're teaching your kid to potty train, you just say, there's the potty, go. No, I've seen my sister potty train. She done pulled down her panties. She sat there and said, watch mommy TT, watch mommy TT. Oh my God, yay. And she did it right then. Yay. And she role modeled that. Same thing I role model with my husband. Boots at the door, coveralls off. Don't touch the light switch. Your hands are black. Head to the shower. I have to role model the behavior of what to do. You've got to role model the behavior of what to do for your team. And that's not just talking, sister. That's walking. We can easily go, you do this. Have the movement. Have the action. Get busy. Stop playing fairy tale pretend land. You're not playing ambassador. Go be an ambassador. And then number 3, this is what we got to do. So we talked about showing up. We talked about stop playing pretend fairy tale land. And number 3, you've got to go all in. And when I say all in, I want you to think about the thing that scares the living bejesus out of you. What is it? Is it speaking? Is it doing a Facebook Live? Is it contacting your family? Is it contacting people about 7-day challenge? Is it even just posting? What is it that scares you? Is it being told no? Okay, well, I'm going to prep you for that. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want to be a part of that. No, don't do that. I just told you no 3 times and you're still alive. Good. You're going to get told no. You're going to get people to ignore you. You're going to get people who think you're a whack job. I still got people who think I'm a whack job. Here's what you say. Sit on it and spin. I don't care. This is my life. This is what I'm doing. Suck my toe. You're not a part of my bills. You're not a part of my debt. You're not a part of my marriage. You're not a part of my parenting. You're not a part of my lifestyle. Thank you, but no thank you. Bless and release it in the name of Jesus. I'm moving on up, sister. So you do what you need to do for all in. If one person or 20 people is making you not live the potential of your life that you were formed out to have, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you for living in a shadow and in a box and living too small. God has called us to be a light. And to be a light, you've got to be attractive and you've got to be shining. Nobody's going to go to a dead bulb. Nobody wants to be stagnant water. Stagnant water attracts flies. It does. You want to be fresh and flowing water. You want to be fruitful. You want to multiply your team, don't you? Well, then it's time for you to be all in and be that light. And if nobody has told you that you can do this, and if nobody's told you you have the potential, if nobody's told you that you don't come from that girl, you're not blonde, and you don't wear Kendra Scott, and you don't carry a Louis Vuitton, that ain't it. Who cares? You form your own thing. When you want to, girlfriend, buy you some Kendra Scott and a Louis Vuitton when you become a diamond or a sapphire. I bought my first one as a sapphire. I sure did. Ain't nobody bought that for me. I bought it for my damn self. So you go figure out what you want to do. You don't have to form to a mold. You don't have to fit in with somebody. I don't care if you didn't go to school or you did go to school. I don't care if you got a disability or not a disability. If you're young or if you're old, if you're fat or if you're thin, if you're black or you're white or you're purple. I don't care what color you are, where you come from. My background, I came from a very low income family. Low income. So much to where I had to buy my own shampoo at times. If I wanted to have good shampoo at 12, 13, 14 years old, I had to provide those things for me. I bought my school clothes. So I don't care where you come from. My husband comes from complete demographic of free and reduced lunch program. He was on every coupon for the state they could. I was raised by a single mother and didn't even know what it was like to go on a trip. I didn't even know what it was like to have a brand new pair of pants, okay? So I don't care your demographic. Make your own. Build your own mold. Set yourself up for success, and you decide if you want to do more or if you're going to settle for where you're at. My husband and I didn't want to settle. We were tired of that lifestyle. Both of our sets of parents are so swallowed in debt they can barely breathe and function. We have put on this is our dream wall, that we will be debt free. And right now, we only have $5,718 left, and we are completely out of debt besides mortgage at that point in time. We decided that at where we are. You decide what you're going to do. I don't care what the chain is that you came from. Do you know that you can break any chain? Any chain. Divorced parents. My husband and I both come from both sets. In the name of Jesus, we will do everything that we can do to have a healthy marriage. We will do that. We are breaking that cycle. Diabetes runs in my family, every generation. But where I'm at, I've broke the cycle. And thanks to Plexus, my dad's no longer on insulin today. Hallelujah. But I've broken the cycle of where it's at. I believe in health and wellness. Break the cycle. Is it poverty? Is it being told that you're not good enough? What is it? Just being told that you got to settle for that. I don't care if you drive a minivan that's a hoopty and you live in a trailer and you got aluminum foil on your windows because your air sucks. Break the cycle of where you are. Go all in. And if you don't know how to go all in, that's where you put your why in front of you. And this is where you should shake from the inside. And this is where you should put on, it's like a level here, okay? Like a weight. I want you to put your excuse in one hand. I want you to put your why in the other. Just like what your mom would say. Poop in one hand, wish another, see which one fills up faster. Okay. I want you to put your why in one hand, and I want you to put your excuse in the other. My excuse in the beginning was TV. It's that sad, but it was. I'm highly addicted to The Bachelor. I think it's the best thing in the entire world that's out there. I love reality TV trash. I don't even know what it's like to have that trash in my life. I think that's why I'm addicted to it. I love it. I love it. But I had to say, Jill, what's more important? Watching the final rose live or bringing home your husband and actually having the marriage that you want to have? If I was to pick the final rose, I might as well go ahead and get a divorce because he doesn't deserve that wife. No. So put your excuse in one hand. What is it? Mommy wants to nap because she's so tired, but you also want to have more time with your kids and not work that night shift nursing job and be home with them. You should be able to say, screw that nap. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I've got the power of Jesus Christ living inside of my body. And I can function through no nap time right now because my babies need me home. You do that. You claim that. You decide what you're going to do. Put your excuse in one hand, put your why in the other. And if you know what, if your why is not outweighing your excuse, I can help you. Beth can help you. You need professional help. That's Dr. Phil. That's Ellen. That's Oprah. I don't know. That's somebody else besides a Plexus ambassador at that point in time. If you are saying, well, you know, sleeping in on Saturdays is it's my only day to sleep in, but then y'all are swallowing in debt. And you can't even take your kids on, you know, a vacation. You're scared about Christmas already and it's September. Then you should be able to say, my butt is bopping out of that bed on Saturday mornings, and I'm going to do 4 hours before them kids even wake up because they sleep in on a Saturday. And I am going to build a successful business for my family where we're at right now. So you've got to go all in, all in. Is this a business for you? Or if it's a hobby. If it's a hobby, if you're a hobby person, we love the hobby people. I'm not discrediting you anything at all. What's your plan? Is it 500 for your hobby, 100 for your hobby? This goes for anybody. If you're going for your products paid for, if you're ready to go double, triple, quadruple diamond at that point in time, you decide what you want to do. But to do that, you have to physically show up. You do. You have to stop pretending, and you have to go all in. Stop lying to your dang self. It ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing nothing but drowning you even more. So I hope you got something out of this. And if you didn't, it's your own dang fault. So sorry about it.
Oh my goodness. Like for real, I'm like, oh, like, let's go. I mean, you just fired me up a million times. And I know everybody else, my phone's blowing up. People are texting me like, this is amazing. People are putting comments. Thank you so much. Like, I agree a million times with everything that you said. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do this business. And all those kids are back in school. I know that summer we have to rearrange and adjust. This is the time. I just feel like this call is what we needed today because Labor Day is over. It's official. You know, I'm bummed. I love summer, but it is time to kick it in gear. And Jill's right. Like everything that she said, we talk about this all the time. What is your why? What is your why? And like she said, people are stressing about Christmas. Guys, that was me. Like I remember sitting in Arielle's office. This wasn't going to be a business for me. I've told you that a million times. This was not going to be a business for me. But I was working like crazy hours. I had 2.5 part-time jobs, which was more than a full-time job, and Scott traveled all the time, right? And I remember sitting in Arielle's office probably 3 months in and saying, oh my gosh, Arielle, if we could just make $500 until Christmas, we don't have to worry about Christmas. Like, it's not going to be a stress. I can do whatever I want for my kids for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And which was silly because we were making more than $500 a month at that time. But in my head, that's what I needed. And I wouldn't have to worry about that, guys. It can happen for you. I promise you. Make a commitment today to do the things that Jill said. Making a commitment. If you have to work 5 minutes a day, 4 times in that 5 minutes, you can get a lot done in 5 minutes, a whole lot done in 5 minutes. And so get working, get busy. If you need this in your life, which I promise you
do in your life,
whether it be financial, health, social, whatever, you need this in your life, then get busy and do what she said, honestly. If anybody has any questions, pop on there. And we will answer a couple questions. If you have any questions, follow Jill. Jill, I have to tell you the story. I was with, last week I met one of my best friends from high school. And we meet about once a year, twice a year, whatever. And she said, who is this Jill girl? And I said, what? She goes, she keeps popping up into my feed. And she said, she goes, she's the funniest person ever. She goes, I've had to follow her because she's amazing. Like, I need her, like, in my life or whatever. It was so funny. But anyways, so follow Jill. She's amazing. She's so wise. Did you say you're 27? Is that right? 27? 28. I mean, amazing. She was a teacher. When the story she was telling at Jill's training was about bringing her husband home from the oil field. And, we were all like just bawling. I mean, that's huge, guys. Bringing your husband home so you can have a marriage, so you can do these things. That's huge. And that's what Plexus has done for their life. Yes, the trucks are fun. Yes, the cars are fun. Yes, everything is fun. She gets to go shopping at Bloomingdale's for Leaders Retreat. All of that is so much fun. But I guarantee you would probably put that to the side to bring your husband home, right?
What's crazy is that we weren't going to get to be the parents that we wanted to be. So as a teacher, I'm teaching those kids, that classroom. I can't go on my personal baby's field trip. I can't go to their Meet the Teacher night. I'm at my Meet the Teacher night, and my husband's never home. So for us to know when that time does come for us, and the Lord calls us to be parents, neither one of us are going to miss a donuts for dad or muffins for mom or Meet the Teacher or not. Like, we get to be involved. That is why I'm doing this. And people be like, well, that's obviously a pretty big why, saying y'all aren't even trying to have kids, but you've got to think that big. So when the time does come, my children will never know what it's like that I was the first one dropped off at school and daycare and the last one picked up every single day. My mom never showed up to one thing. You know what? I remember that today. You remember the bad. You remember the ugly. You remember the alone. You remember the screaming. You remember the hurt. You remember the brokenness. You remember that. You don't remember a lot of the other things. Like, you don't. Those are the things that stick out to you. I'm going to do everything in my power to know that my kids know, no, my mom was there. She brought brownies. My mom always came. She was always the ride home. I had to find rides home. My mom wasn't picking up nobody because she was working all the day. So for us, that's what I could care less if Plexus took my car. I could care less if they said Hawaii trip was canceled. I get to have the marriage and set up to be the parents that we hope to be one day.
It's so true. I mean, and that's why I feel like Scott's home. He gets to be wherever he wants. I mean, yes, he does stuff on the side, but he gets to be there every afternoon doing homework or me too, both of us, but it's very unusual for dads just to drop what they're doing and go up there. And he's coaching football at their school, so he knows what's going on. And guys, to me, it is. It's absolutely amazing. So I know y'all got so much from this call. I know that y'all did. But don't let that excitement go away. Don't get off this call and be like, oh, I need to go do this. Get off this call and reach out to 10 people. It'll take you 10 minutes. Reach out to 10 people and say, are you ready to try Plexus? I know you've seen my post. I challenge you to do that today. Do it. It will take you 10 minutes, if that, to send those messages. But go off of this call and take this call and move forward. Don't, let your excitement. Sometimes we get excited and we're in the moment, and then all of a sudden you get home and, I just want to go sit down. No, we're not going to sit down. We're going to work Plexus, right? So anyways, thank you a million times, my friend. I cannot wait to see you next week. So fun. We're going to have a blast. And thank you for taking time with us today.
I'm honored. So honored, y'all.
All right. If there's no more questions, we will hang it up for today, and y'all have a great week.